I'm Ashlee and today I'm going to teach you how I make my lamb gyros with tzatziki sauce. This is seriously one of my favorite things to eat. It's super easy to make. It tastes amazing. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let's get started. The first thing that we're gonna make is the tzatziki sauce so that can sit in the fridge. You can actually make that a couple days ahead of time if you want, and then it will be all ready to go when our gyros are made. So take a medium to large cucumber, we're gonna peel it, cut off the ends, and scoop out the seeds on the inside. Next up, we're going to grate the cucumber. Take the grated cucumber and put it in the center of a tea towel, gather up the ends, and squeeze all that extra juice out. So now it's nicely dried out. Now in a food processor, we're gonna put the yogurt. You wanna make sure you're using Greek yogurt. This is nice and thick. Now if all you can find is plain yogurt, and you can actually still use it, but you can't use it the way it is, what you need to do is drain it. You want to put it in a tea towel, just like we did with the cucumbers, hold it up. I tie it to a wooden spoon and hang it over a bowl and let it just strip overnight, and then the next morning, it's nice and thick and it's ready to use. Personally, it's just easier to buy Greek yogurt, but if you don't have it, there's a trick you can use to create your own nice thick yogurt. A pinch of some kosher salt, a tablespoon of olive oil, some red wine vinegar, a couple cloves of garlic. I'm a little garlic heavy, so I use 4 cloves. Mint leaves, finely minced. And blend that together. Once that's all blended, we're gonna add that cucumber, and I'm gonna blend it a little bit more. Now, if you like your tzatziki sauce chunkier, you can either just pulse it a little bit, or you can actually pour it all into a bowl and just stir that cucumber in. Personally, I like mine a little bit smoother. As you can see, even with the food processor, it's actually still pretty chunky. Now, I could just keep processing this until it was perfectly smooth, but this is actually what I think is perfect. Now, I want to refrigerate this for a couple of hours or overnight, and it will help all those flavors develop and it will taste so much better. You really don't want to eat this right away. It's just going to be super yogurty with little chunks of that mint and that cucumber, but that sitting time, that couple hours, that overnight will just really develop this and it'll be so delicious. Now we're going to start the gyro meat. First thing I'm going to do is take an onion and process it in my food processor. I think I need some of those onion goggles. Oh, it just hit me. Oh, it stings. Ah, it stings. Okay. And now, just like we did with the cucumber, we want to pour the onions into a towel. And just like before, you want to squeeze all the extra liquid out. We don't want our gyro meatloaf basically to be watery or liquidy at all. So we really want to dry these onions out. And take your dried out onions and put them back into the food processor. Now, before I start this next part, I want to give a word of warning. This is pretty much the grossest thing I make that you will see. I almost didn't make the video because this part is so disgusting. Basically, we're making a lamb meatloaf, right? And with normal meatloaf, you just stir it all together, and that's pretty gross on its own. But in this case, we're actually going to process everything together, the spices and the meat and all of it. And it is pretty nasty, and then we're gonna make the meatloaf out of it. Now, the reason for that versus a traditional just mixing it with your hands is that we actually want to get this pastier and finer and the meat tighter. That is what's gonna give it that unique gyro texture. All right, some more garlic, marjoram, and rosemary, and some kosher salt, some pepper, and finally some oregano. That's so nasty looking, but it smells really good and it's gonna taste amazing. And now we're gonna shape our loaf. We're just shaping it into a rectangle. So we want it about 1.5 inches tall. And the next important step is, of course, adding your meat thermometer. Now this is key so you don't overcook your meat. I swear by meat thermometers. They're the best way to get a good result. Guessing on your meat or just going by the time is almost always gonna end up with either raw or usually overcooked meat. So get yourself one. They're not that expensive. They're totally worth it. I'm sticking my meat thermometer in the middle. What you don't want is for your meat thermometer to touch the pan at all. You wanna make sure it's completely surrounded by meat so it gets an accurate reading. Okay.
It looks gross, but it's kind of yummy.
Just kind of yummy.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna bake it at 325 degrees until it reaches the correct temperature. What we're looking for is 155 to 160. That's cooked, it smells amazing, and now we're gonna let it sit for 10 minutes. It's been 10 minutes, and now we're gonna slice it. You wanna slice it pretty thin. And then we're gonna take those slices, put them back on the pan, and then broil them for 2 to 3 minutes, and that's going to crust it over. So that double bake is going to give us that more authentic gyro texture and flavor. You can see after that double baking, it's a lot darker. It looks a lot more similar to the rotisserie gyro, even though it's still not quite right, but it's the closest that I found I can get at home. All right, let's put it all together. So look at the texture of that tzatziki sauce. Now, if you want, now that it's kind of set, you can run it through your food processor again if you really want this smooth. I'm personally gonna leave it like this. So take your pita bread, add a little bit of meat to it. We're gonna top it with some of that tzatziki sauce. We're gonna add some tomatoes and some red onions. You can use regular onions if you like. And of course, you can't have a gyro without some feta cheese, my favorite. The best part about making food for yourself is that you can personalize it and add whatever you want. So in the comment box down below, let me know, do you love gyros? Do you love Greek food? Or is there any other food that you'd like me to make from anywhere else in the world? I love hearing what you guys want me to make, and I'm trying to get through all of it. So now comes my favorite part, where we get to eat. I do not make this enough. It is so good. I love food truck food. It's totally one of my obsessions, and this is one of the very first food truck items that I ever ate. You can also check out my liege waffles. I got those from a food truck, and my fried sweets, fried Oreos, fried cookie dough balls, those are also from a food truck. Clearly, I have a bit of an obsession. Let me know if there is a food truck item that you would like to see me make that's a favorite of yours. Excuse me while I pig out. You ready to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, big bite. All right, what do you think?
I love it.
Thumbs up, you love it?
Don't forget to subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye!
Bye!